Welcome to LiveWired. I'm back with another Behringer LM Drum tutorial. Today we're going to integrate the Behringer LM Drum into Cubase the quick and dirty way. Just two audio inputs, no fancy routing, and full control. I'll show you how to connect it, get both audio and MIDI working, sync it perfectly to your DAW, and even use the LM Drum as a MIDI pad controller for your virtual drum instruments. So if you've got a small interface but want a big workflow, this one's for you. Let's get started. For this quick and dirty setup, as I call it, and that I use quite frequently, you only actually need your Behringer LM Drum with the USB cable, an audio interface with 2 channels, and a set of audio patch cables. I have TRS here, but you can also use the normal TS patch cables as well. The Minion Batman is optional, but highly recommended. Now let's start by connecting our patch cables to the outputs of the Behringer LM Drum. It has a stereo left and right outputs. So let's connect it to left and right. And now connect the other ends to the inputs of your audio interface. Alright, we see some signal flowing. Now I would recommend to max out the master volume on the Behringer LM Drum and then make sure that your gain setting on the interface is set so you never hit red. You don't want to clip that input. See, I'm hitting the red here. We don't want that. So let's dial it back. Just for the sake of safety, let's dial it down even slightly more so it's always in the green area. This is how we make sure that we do not clip our audio interface's inputs and have clean signal. Since we want to sync our Behringer LM Drum with our DAW, we want to put it on the external sync mode. So hit the sync button and then scroll down to USB and hit the data control knob. But first press stop, otherwise it won't change the setting. See? Now it's working. So you will now see that if you hit play, nothing happens. This is because the Behringer LM Drum will be now controlled by your DAW. Now let's head to our DAW. In my case it's Cubase, but it's roughly the same setup with every DAW out there. So let us hit play and we'll see that nothing happens on our LM Drum here. This is because we first have to sync it to our DAW. For this, we're going to the transport menu and hit external sync activation, and then again to transport into project sync settings. Now we want to go to the targets tab and select our LM Drum as target for the MIDI clock and also for the MIDI timecode, and hit OK. If we now hit play, we should see that the LM Drum starts to play as well. And voila! Alright, hit stop, it stops. This means that we now can switch or adjust our tempo from the DAW, and LM Drum will follow all along. Let's add an audio track first. Select an audio track, and we select our stereo in, as we only have 2 channels on this interface, and let's call it LM Drum Audio. Now if we hit the monitor button and hit play, we should hear something. Okay, cool. We have some audio and we can record it if we wish. Now let us add 2 MIDI tracks. The first one we will call LM Drum to Cubase, and the second one we will call Cubase to LM Drum. And as the name suggests, we will be able to receive MIDI notes from the LM Drum into Cubase on this channel, or send our MIDI notes into the LM Drum. Now we have to select the LM Drum as a MIDI input, and let's keep the MIDI output empty for now. On the other MIDI channel, we do not want to have any MIDI inputs for now, but we want to route our MIDI out to LM Drum. Okay, let's now record some MIDI and audio, shouldn't we? And there you go. Here we have our audio, and here we have our MIDI. You can activate the GM map, so we have our drum pads displayed. And what we could do now is alter or change our MIDI, or send it to a different drum machine. For example, let us add any other drum machine here. I'll take the XO from XLN Audio. Now I'm gonna simply drag the MIDI down to the XO track. I will deactivate all the MIDI inputs for now. And let's try this out. Let us create a beat on the XO and then send it to Behringer. Okay, let's play around with our groove here. Let's add some swing. And now let us export the MIDI file to the channel Cubase 2 LM Drum. If we hit play now, we will hear both the MIDI notes sent from the MIDI channel as well as the pattern stored on the LM Drum. So let's go to an empty song and an empty pattern. And go to song 4. Let's hit stop first, of course. Hit song 4, pattern 11, and let's make sure it's empty. It is. So now let's activate our MIDI file, but first let's cycle the track. And that's really the beauty of this setup. By routing MIDI both from and into the LM Drum, you're getting the best of both worlds, the workflow comfort of your DAW and the authentic punch of a real drum machine that sounds nearly identical to the original LinnDrum LM-2. You're no longer limited by the LM Drum's internal pattern or song storage, because now you can trigger and remix as many patterns as you want directly from your DAW, no chaining required. While you can still program different patterns to a different BPM count and switch between them on the LM Drum, you can't, for example, make a gradual change of the tempo like you can do in your DAW. So this setup isn't just about connectivity, it's about flexibility and turning the LM Drum into a fully integrated instrument inside your production environment. But wait, maybe there's more to it. The LM Drum has pads. Now what if we use the LM Drum as a MIDI pad controller as well? I just added another instance of a virtual drum plugin. In this case, it's the EasyDrummer electronic expansion. What I will do now, I will route the LM Drum to the MIDI input of this plugin. And now, if I go to pads on the LM Drum, I should be able to control the plugin, right? If you are not sure about the MIDI mapping on your plugin, you can look up the MIDI map in the manual or just pause this video and take a look at the MIDI map on the screen. I hope you found this video useful. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.